just got it right. We're going to be talking about sleep positions and more with Dr. Joelene Huber, our pediatrician on the show today. It's all about the back to sleep with the babies. We know that you've also been contributing to today's Parent Magazine, which is great to hear. I mean, you know, new parents have so many questions, and it's good to have a pediatrician on hand that can deal with a lot of these issues. So you're a new parent, you're nervous about everything, particularly the sleep situation. Yeah. Why is it important to make sure the babies are sleeping on their back?
So there's lots of research and studies that have been done on this, and it's really important to put babies on their back because it decreases the risk of sudden infant death syndrome, and that is something that we're all afraid of. And really what it means is in the first year of life, a baby who's apparently healthy suddenly dies for no real good reason. But we know that if babies are on their back, the risk is reduced by 50%. So since we've started to promote that in the 90s, there's been a huge reduction in sudden infant death syndrome. So
absolutely. Yeah. What do you do though with babies? A lot of babies, they don't feel good on their back. Is there anything you can do to make that more comfortable for them?
Yeah, so the best thing to do is just have them in a Health Canada regulated crib on their back right from newborn, right from birth, and they get really used to it. And actually it's almost the babies are overused to that we don't put them enough on their tummies, and their heads can get flattened and they feel uncomfortable, you know, when you do put babies on tummy. Yes. So there's lots. Do you want to talk about tummy time tips?
Yeah, we might as well, because the two, you know,
go hand in hand. So back to sleep and then tummy to play is what I always say. And so I always say to new moms, you want to, it's hard to kind of think, when can I start putting a newborn on their tummy? So every time you change the diaper, you put them on their tummy just for a moment. Right. Put them on their tummy. Put your head down by the baby too, so that they feel safe. Okay. Maybe sing to them. You can use a roll and put baby up on a roll. And it's really important that we do tummy time because they're on their back so much that babies now are not as used to being on their tummies. They're not building those important muscles in the torso, and it's good for their learning. You can put things in front of them. You can even lay down yourself and put baby on your tummy, and then babies love that. So those are all great ways to do tummy time.
See, I didn't realize that even putting them on your chest is a great thing, because most babies just love that. You're warm, they can listen to your heartbeat. It's a lovely feeling.
And
so
before they have good head control and good strength in their muscles and are able to roll, they don't love being on their tummy. No. But it is a little ab workout for them, so that's why it's really important.
Ooh, ab workout. We should all do it. Yeah. So let's go back to the crib for a second. They're on their back. They can't have anything obstructing them in that crib. Right. So we're talking like no stuffies, no blankets, no bumper pads, which they still sell.
Yeah, so when you go into the baby boutiques and you see these beautiful nurseries, you want to make the crib, but really the crib should be totally empty. So in this picture you see all of these stuffies. Stuffies can get lots of dust in them, gunk, you know, throw up gets on them, and they're actually in the hospital. Most hospitals don't even let stuffies anymore to be there because they harbor so many germs and allergens and that kind of thing. So you want your crib to be completely free of anything, clutter, and that's safest for baby.
It's a sad looking picture. Your baby's in jail.
But
it's the safest thing for them. Well, they can't have anything, like not even a blanket. But they will get used to it if you start them out that way.
Right, and the safest way is actually in the crib, in the parents' room, so room sharing, and that's different than bed sharing.
Okay, let's talk a bit about bed sharing, because a lot of parents think, you know what, I'm nursing, I'm getting up a billion times a night, let me just have the baby right next to me. Isn't that cute and cuddly and beautiful? It's not safe.
Right.
And so I know I did it with mine, and I never had a good sleep while the baby was beside me, because you're worried about rolling over, you're worried about the next time they're going to wake up to feed. But for me to actually get up and go into the nursery just felt like way too much work.
Right, so that's why if you have room sharing, where the baby's crib is right next within arm's reach, you can breastfeed in bed, then get up and put the baby into the crib. That's the safest, again, reduces the risk of sudden infant death syndrome by 50%. The beds are not safe for, they're not set to a standard for babies that can get caught in between the mattress, get under the big duvet covers that again are, so we said we don't want to have them under blankets and that kind of thing.
Right.
And it's really unsafe, and accidental death can happen that way.
Right, and the pillows as well, not good for them if they're in your bed. Okay, so we've talked about tummy time and bed sharing and not bed sharing. Let's talk about when eating a little bit. So parents talk a lot about when they're supposed to get their babies into solids. What is the consensus today?
Right. So by 6 months of age, babies are ready to eat. So anywhere, some babies are closer to the 4 months, so anywhere between 4 to 6 months. But for sure by 6 months, you want to have started your solids. And if they can sit up in a high chair and hold their head, if they can start to open their mouth, or if they're watching you eating, if they're hungry between feeds, then that's when really good indicator that it's a good time. And the question is, what do I start first? And babies get iron. Their iron stores in the last trimester of pregnancy from mom that will last them. That store will last them for about 4 to 6 months. So right around the time that you want to start feeding.
Right.
So the first thing that you want to give them, here's some meat, and this is iron-enriched rice cereal. So you want to start with an iron-enriched food. Maybe not meat because it's not as palatable. You want to make the first experience nice. You can start with a cereal. But then after that, there's no specific order.
Just get it in them.
Yeah, and just go slow. And evidence shows that if we watch their hunger cues, then babies won't overeat, and they'll listen to their hunger cues as they get older.
Very good. Thank you so much for the advice, Dr. Huber.